Call him crazy. Call him a genius. Call him deluded. Call him a visionary. But whatever you think about Elon Musk, you can't call him boring. Because how else do you describe a man who does more in a year than we do in a lifetime? This is a story about a billionaire who wants us all to own self-driving electric cars. A visionary who wants us to fly to planets far beyond where we can go. A tech wizard who wants to implant chips inside our brains to allow us to control computers. Or are his AI-fueled computers going to control us? This is the crazy mind of Elon Musk. Chapter 1. Vision. On the surface, Musk is crazy. He sabotages his own Cybertruck release by smashing a window on stage. He launches his own car into space. He comes out of his office with a flamethrower. But if you go beneath the surface, there has to be something more to this once-in-a-lifetime personality. There's something we could learn about this man who's never built a car in his life and goes on to design the Tesla Model S, which has been called the best car ever built. The man who knows nothing about space travel and then designs the world's safest, cheapest, and most reliable private rocket company. When Elon Musk sets his mind to a task, there's no force on Earth that will stop him from achieving it. Not even himself. To Musk, his businesses, Tesla, SpaceX, X, Twitter, Neuralink, these aren't just businesses. They're visions of a better future. And it started with a vision to leave home. Musk's childhood in South Africa was painful. With undiagnosed autism, Musk spent much of his early years neglected, unnoticed, or isolated from the other kids. After being beaten up on the playground for being different, Musk would come home hoping for some sympathy from his father. Instead of loving him, Musk's father yelled at him, called him stupid, and told Musk the other kids were right to beat him up. So, no matter what it took, Musk knew he had to leave. Because of his autism, Musk was fixated with technology. He devoured everything he could about new ideas and products, and he noticed that everything exciting was coming out of one place: America. From that moment, Musk's vision was to work at the heart of this technology boom. He had to get to America. He begged and pleaded with his parents to move to the US, but they refused. But when Musk's mind is made up, nothing, not even his own parents, can change it for him. Musk used his mother's Canadian citizenship to move to Canada by himself when he was just 17. And then, just a few years later, he moved to Silicon Valley, the core of everything Musk ever wanted. But this wasn't a selfish desire. Musk's grand vision was always to be where technology happens so that he can change the course of humanity. His dreams were to get people into space, to find better energy sources, to make banking easier, to conquer other planets. 40 years later, Musk's vision hasn't shrunk. If anything, it's gotten bigger. He doesn't use motivation or incentives for his employees. He uses a grand vision. Many people quit under Musk's brutal leadership, but then they come back saying that given the choice to be burnt out or bored, they'd rather get burnt out on Musk's vision than miss out on what he's doing inside any of his revolutionary companies. When you have a vision as big as Elon's, you'll find a way to make the impossible happen. Chapter 2. I'll find a way. Musk is, at heart, an engineer. He'll work for days at a time to design the perfect battery, code the perfect software, or build the perfect rocket. And that's in part due to his massive intellect. Musk's brain is on another level. His IQ, although not officially measured, is reported to be 155, just 5 points short of Einstein. Musk does math puzzles in his head for fun. He builds complex robotics to celebrate his birthday. And he always seems 3 steps ahead of anyone else in the room. sometimes talking too fast to get all his ideas out of his head. In short, he'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants. When Musk was just starting out with SpaceX, he decided that instead of building a rocket, he would just buy one. And who has great rockets? The Russians. With a briefcase full of money, Musk went to Russia 3 times trying to buy the ICBM missile from the Russians. He told them, "You keep the nuke. I just want the missile." But the Russians laughed in his face, called him a young boy, and told him to go home. And on that flight back to the States, Musk knew he could find a way to get to space. He pulled out an Excel spreadsheet, turned to his friends, and said, "I think I can build my own rocket cheaper." And SpaceX was born. Inside Musk's brain, he's always looking for a better way to do what he wants to do. He'll cut staff. He'll change entire factories. He'll move headquarters. Whatever it takes. He'll even dabble in drugs if it helps get him where he wants to go. Musk has admitted to taking ketamine, normally prescribed for negative thoughts and depression.
What if ketamine is if you like literally like a chemical state in your brain that you can't just think yourself out of, then ketamine is helpful for getting you out of a depressive mind state.
But he defends himself as well, saying that these kinds of extreme measures are essential to his success. But there's a darker side to this drive to succeed. Musk puts excessive demands on himself and on everyone around him. Chapter 3. All in or get out. Musk is never satisfied. He pushes his team to work 80, 90, 100-hour weeks. He sends emails in the middle of the night, sets conference calls for 6 a.m., tells everyone that exceptional performance is the bare minimum. This creates an aura around Musk that those who work with him are the best of the best. But not everyone is ready for his heavy-handed approach. When he bought Twitter, hundreds of staff resigned after Musk sent out abusive, unreasonable emails saying that unless they committed 100% to his Twitter vision, they might as well leave. And many did. To Musk, 100% is the only way to do business. He doesn't just say this, he lives it. When Musk sold his first company to Compaq for millions, he used everything he had to fund his new startup to change banking forever. That would eventually become PayPal. And when eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion in 2002, Musk walked away with $175 million. But to Musk, that $175 million wasn't really his. It was barely enough money to fund his next goals. Space travel and electric cars aren't cheap, and it would cost Musk every single cent he made to keep the two companies alive. By 2008, Musk had just $30 million left over, and Tesla and SpaceX were both on the brink of bankruptcy. Should he let one company fail and save the other? No. Musk always gives 100%. In a crazy gamble, he split his fortune between both companies and had to beg his friends to pay his rent. Musk slept on the factory floor at Tesla for 2 days of the week, and then went to SpaceX, where he did the same thing.
I was living in the factory in Fremont and the one in Nevada for 3 years straight. That was my primary residence. For a while there, I was just sleeping under my desk, which is out in the open in the factory.
Several times, both companies were just days away from bankruptcy, but Musk's 100% commitment to the companies saved them both. Yes, Musk demands a lot from his employees, but only because he demands a lot from himself.
I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
But in Musk's insane mind, it makes sense. If I don't do it, who will? Which is a dangerous way to think. Chapter 4. If I don't, who will? In the business world of Silicon Valley, if you need money, you get funding. But Musk believes that if your business needs money, you pay for it yourself. Many entrepreneurs think he's crazy for throwing his own fortunes into his businesses, but Musk has no problem with it. Because if he won't do it, who else will? That's not a bad way to think, to be self-reliant, to believe in yourself? But Musk's thinking goes way beyond that. It's almost as if Musk believes that no one could do his job better than him. When Tesla was building its factories, Musk had to be part of every detail. He controlled the manufacturing details and found cheaper, faster steps to pump out electric cars. Musk wasn't a manufacturing expert, but his insane need for control meant that he couldn't let someone else take the wheel. The CEO got down to the factory floor, asked how each step could be made better, and changed everything. And the same thing happened over at SpaceX. When the company was launching its first rockets, Musk didn't hire any chief engineers. Instead, Musk decided that he could do it. It's not exactly rocket science, except it is. So for the first 3 launches, which all crashed and exploded in spectacular fashion, Musk trusted himself alone to handle the job as chief engineer. Musk demands to be involved in every step along the way, but don't believe that it's because he's some control freak. It's not. He believes that if he doesn't do it, no one will. It's why he doesn't and can't step away from leadership, unless he's pushed out, which is what some are calling for now. People have been demanding better leadership at Twitter. Experts want Musk out of the chief role at Tesla, but Musk refuses to back down. Even back when PayPal was starting out, Musk faced the same difficulties. In 2000, when Musk and his first wife were taking a long overdue honeymoon to see the Sydney Olympics, the PayPal upper management went to the board and all threatened to resign if Musk wasn't immediately removed as CEO. When Musk heard about the underhanded coup, he cut his honeymoon short and flew back in a rage to fight his case. But the board had their hands tied. They were forced to ask Musk to leave. In each of his businesses, Musk handcuffs himself to the wheel. Crazy? Maybe. Confident? Without a doubt. It's easy to make Musk the villain. It's easy to point at his eccentricities, stunts, or wild tweets and say that he's insane. But that's just what we see on the surface. Underneath all of that, Elon Musk seems misunderstood. Yes, he sleeps at his desk. Yes, he demands crazy hours. And yes, his social behavior is erratic and confusing. But underlying everything is a vision that drives him to do what he does. His goal is nothing less than to change the world. He wants humanity to be better, to be stronger, to be ready for the future. He's scared of doing nothing, which is why he does everything he can to push his vision to become reality. But Elon is unique. Is anyone else brave enough to be Elon Musk? Would you do what he does to have what he has? Is the fame, the lifestyle, the billions of dollars worth the self-torment, the rough childhood, the endless drive to succeed at all costs? Maybe the cost is too great. Elon himself says that no one should do what he does. It's very painful to lead the life he leads, costing him friends, family, a social life. Maybe no one but Elon can do what he does. No one can withstand the pain and hurt like him. Is Elon Musk's brain insane? Possibly, but maybe we need his brand of insanity to push us to bigger and better things.